Again, my name is Darius Cumberbatch from Professional Engineering Services. I'm the supervisor engineer on the project. We're here on Eagle Hall Main Road. This is one of the roads under the Ministry of Transport and Works Focus Roadworks project. This is one of the 31 roads we focus on within the St. Michael community. We also focus, various patches across the island, as well as major highways. The Eagle Hall Main Road is winding down on the main focus on the Focus Roadworks program. We have a couple other roads scheduled to do as well. The program, we have some challenges as well. There's always been the issue with coordinating with utilities to make sure that when we do start the works, there's limited disruption to the public, primarily due to limiting disruptions with water authority, gas works, etc. This project, we had coordination meetings weekly before we actually started. We did walkthroughs a couple times with professional engineering services, the contractor, and the ministry as well, to identify the services along the road so that when we do start, we are aware of any challenges or any areas we expect to encounter service crossings. I must say this one, due to the walkthroughs, the initial construction of the road, we must say we didn't have any major disruptions to the works. The milling was done, to say, quite smoothly, with the exception of the delays due to the weather. But as we know, we can't predict the weather as is. But contractor did very well to make sure the road was passed. He milled during the night and reinstated the mill surface during the night as well, so that they ensure that the traffic could pass by morning. And I must say that was very good effort on his part, just the planning by the contractor and the team as well to make sure we can keep the works going. So we're here now at the final phase. We have the asphalt works being done. And on the other end, we would also be doing the milling tonight as well, taking us to the stoplights at Lower Bank Hall. Once these works are complete, we'll do our initial snags to tidy up the area and any concrete works to repair any damaged drains that were damaged drains along the road, try to repair any and raise any existing manholes that may be below the road surface and make sure it's passable and user-friendly. And that would cover the Eagle Hall Main Road stretch of the Focus Roadworks project. We are working with a smart plan to have the road milled no more than 50 meters tonight, reinstated, and then pave the stretch. But I anticipate, based on the progress he's doing, late to mid next week, we should have asphalt done on this section of the road and Eagle Hall to be complete.
Hi, good night. I'm Sean Cox from Infra Construction, General Manager for the contractor on the job here at Eagle Hall. So we are resurfacing the road from the traffic lights by Eagle Hall down to Lower Bank Hall traffic lights on phase 1 of this resurfacing in the Eagle Hall area. There's a phase 2, which will be from the Lower Bank Hall traffic lights to the Bridge Road traffic lights, which will be done once this section of work is completed. So currently we are paving the first half of phase 1 tonight, which is just after Strathclyde Road towards the Eagle Hall traffic lights. We commenced this work on the 12th of June, and we'll be finished paving this first half tonight. The second half of the roadworks is currently being milled right now, and the expected paving from Strathclyde Junction to Lower Bank Hall traffic lights would most likely be Wednesday next week. If there's an opportunity to get that sped up, we will obviously try to do it sooner. During the roadworks here in Eagle Hall, we haven't had many issues in terms of delays other than weather. Last week, Friday was the expected paving date from the beginning of the project. We were here with the equipment ready to pave that day, but during the course of the night, the rain had started pouring quite heavily before we mobilized for paving, so that was shut down on that day and almost straight through the weekend as the rain fell straight through till Sunday, and we had to spend Sunday and last night repairing all the damage to the road, and now we're here finally getting ready to pave. So that was a delay of about 3 to 4 days because of the weather.
So back in February, we would have started a new program for this financial year called the Focus Roads program. And this program is focused on a number of the roads that when we would have started the Mill and Pave program last year, we recognized that there were roads that were a little bit more complex than the Mill and Pave program. So we categorize these programs where we would now be able to work with the utility companies and the contractors to be able to do more rehabilitation of the roads. Tonight we are on one of the roads in Eagle Hall where we are actually doing the first phase of the paving, and the other side of the road will be obviously milled and in due course also paved. We've assessed about 60 roads on the program through PESL, who is the contractors engaged to be able to do the overseeing of the works. We have about 5 contractors that have now been working across the country, both in the rural as well as the urban corridor, to be able to bring some relief in a number of the various communities, the majority of them being residential roads. Of those 60 roads that have been assessed, about 25 have been completed to date. The others are at different stages. Some are ongoing, or as soon as the contractors are completed on this second phase, they will shortly start the remaining works. We've spent about, or will spend about 23 million in total across the entire program, which will also include a number of the highways. We did a highway maintenance program, which has taken up a budget of about 10 million out of the 23 million. And the public would have seen areas like the Coymond, Dighton area. You would have seen the Top Rock roundabout area also being done, as well as the Wildy Triangle. And on the latter, we had a number of issues on that last program in the Wildy Triangle, primarily as a result of issues with the water mains in that triangle. And it took us a little bit longer than we would have hoped to be able to resolve those issues. I know there was a bit of disruption for the businesses and certainly the commuters, but I think the coordination between the utilities was able to allow us to minimize the impact that was made certainly in the area. And I'm pleased that that road has now been reinstated, and we have a bit more work to do just in tidying up in and around that area over the coming weeks as well. So the Focus Roads program is pretty much in motion. The public can expect obviously the remaining roads to be done in the course of the next couple of weeks, weather permitting of course, and the contractors will continue to work with us as they are tonight, working during the night to be able to ensure that we're able to complete these 60 roads over the course of the next few months. Yeah, I think in fairness, wherever there is rehabilitation, reconstruction of roads, you're always going to get dust. That is just a factor that I think the public is going to have to address. What we have tried to do with the contractors is to put in place a program where they use their water trucks and they're able to wet the roads. And they try to do that as frequently as possible. So I can't say that we've had complaints in this area, but you know, if you are milling the road, you're likely, you're taking up the asphalt, you're likely to get the dust coming into the home. So it is a temporary inconvenience, but I'm sure that the residents along this particular stretch, for instance, in Eagle Hall, when they wake up tomorrow morning and they realize that they have a newly paved section of this road, they're going to forget very quickly that they've had dust for the last couple of weeks on this particular stretch. So we do apologize for any inconvenience, but again, it is a necessary part of what we're doing in terms of improving the road infrastructure network. I think in fairness, there is a lot of work going on in the country, and it's not just the work that we are doing within MTW, but there are a number of housing projects. There are a number of private developments that are taking place across the country. And I think it's fair to say that the contractors are stretched as well as the utility companies. We have the $230 million project going on in the Scotland district. It's essentially the same contractors, the same utility companies in all cases working on the same projects. They're working with us on Focus Roads programs. They're working on the CAF roads in St. Thomas, the Cane Garden to Bridgefield, the Shop Hill, the Prior Park, and they are obviously working on other roads across the country in the various districts as well. So I think it is fair to say that there are challenges in terms of capacity that all of the entities are experiencing at the moment. Am I satisfied? I believe that there is still a lot more to be done, and we try to coordinate as much as possible. You would have heard the supervisory consultant speak to it just now. We hold regular meetings with the utilities, and why? Because we try to troubleshoot as much as we can on a weekly basis to make sure that we can minimize the disruption. I can't tell you what would happen if we were not keeping regular meetings. It would probably be even more chaotic. But we've tried in the certainly last few months and stuff in particular, to engage with the utilities even more. For instance, Light and Power has had issues with the auger truck, which will basically be digging their poles. So in some cases, you have to move poles in districts, you have to repair poles. When their equipment obviously breaks down, or the access to that equipment breaks down, then that delays maybe the water utilities going in to be able to complete their end of the work. So we're working on it, and we're trying to coordinate better to be able to minimize the disruption being caused to the general public.